Anderton's left knee is heavily bandaged. Klinsmann, Barmby. Still Barmby. Popescu. Played in again, meant for Barmby. Good cover, Unsworth. And that long clearance.
Well, that was a contrast, wasn't it? Where Spurs, for the first time, just tried to probe and get their way through, and then David Unsworth made the interception, and from there, 18-yard box, it's ended up in Ian Walker's hand, and they don't mess around, they just turn the Spurs defence immediately, and that's the problem. Spurs just haven't probably felt at the moment, certainly their forward players, that they've been able to get into this game at all.
Graham Stuart fouled by Colin Calderwood. Everton's free kick halfway through the first half. The ball wasn't still when it was taken by Hinchcliffe. This is Jackson. Right out, just coming off his man up front, but a good challenge by Barmby. And the ball put through to him again by Howells. Unsworth at the moment is winning everything back there for Everton. This is Jackson. Right out. On the chest is the referee. Play on, Limpar. Right out again, Limpar.
It's very sharp. It wasn't a bad return ball. Paul Rowder, of course, hasn't played recently and just didn't go for the second return pass.
No, some people thought he would be out for the rest of the season right out, but he's made a sudden recovery. That's Sheringham to Klinsmann. And that header by Calderwood is cleared by Nethercott. Sheringham with Watson now. Right out's header, Abbott's clearance. Good touch play initially by Everton, and then Spurs scrambled their way into the tackle, and the ball was smuggled away by Howells, who was brought down by Watson. And it was Tottenham who were doing the strapping there in midfield.
There's great hustling just before that by an Everton quartet, although in the end, Horn and Parkinson were so competitive, they tackled each other, and that allowed Spurs to break.
Well, Neville Southall looks out and sees 5 white shirts round the ball. Anderton, the central figure here, and Howells. And rolled across to Gary Mabbott. Oh, and Southall and an orthodox save.
Looked as if it must have taken some sort of deflection, because Neville Southall started to go to his left and then used his feet to actually clear the ball. But a double push across the sort of edge of the 18-yard box. I'm surprised Gary Mabbott, you wouldn't associate him normally with hitting a free kick from here. But as you can say, hits it low. There's a lot of legs in there, but it just seen it late, obviously, and it's curling round, but he uses his feet, and it's effective.
Yes, he also actually guided away from the 2 Tottenham players coming in, didn't he? This is Barmby. Stuart, Parkinson. It's a right old scrap in there. That was Barry Horn, who was the best, one of the best at that, upended by David Howells.
Fairly fearsome tackle from Joe Parkinson just before that on Nicky Barmby, and I think it was the follow-up from that that then got penalised for David Howells.
Yes, there's some real teeth in midfield today. This is Unsworth. Play on. Dean Austin. Popescu. Anderton. Oh, on to Popescu from Sheringham and then to Barnby with Nethercott moving up as well. Anderton joins Klinsmann in the centre. So does Sheringham. It's a good run by Barnby. Referee shook his head at the end as he went down. Tottenham win it back. Klinsmann. Stuart for Everton. Right out. Hinchcliffe. Stewart. Hinchcliffe goes for the return. Austin, difficult one for a defender. In the old days, you could have passed back to your goalkeeper. Not now. Corner. Ablett, Watson and Jackson all come forward. Dave Watson!
Ian Walker's been top man, hasn't he? Gary Mabbutt is there, he's challenging, he's at full stretch, but Dave Watson just gets above him, and it's just the height for the keeper to make the save.
And Big Dave is still in there now as Hinchcliffe goes right across to the other side. Gary Ablett's the player who's in front of Walker. Oh, and Walker with Ablett, as I said, right in front of him, did enough to save the situation.
Well, they're far harder, aren't they, from the right, coming in, swinging into the goal, and Ablett could only have been a hair's width away, I think, from getting the touch.
That was the first poor one from Hinchcliffe, and a relieved Nethercott got it away from the post. Free kick, Jurgen Klinsmann. Walker's done well, hasn't he? What a solid start by the goalkeeper to this semi-final. He's got bodies to get through, not all in blue shirts either, it might be said. His own defenders have got to go in there too. Klinsmann, it went over Watson's head. Klinsmann, Sheringham.
I'm not sure Jurgen Klinsmann has enjoyed the semi-final up to now. The ball just bounces up, tries to knock it down, but it's an awkward one behind Sheringham. But, you know, they're just looking for the scraps as well.
Well, they've scored, what is it, between them this season? 45 goals, Klinsmann 25, Sheringham 20. Coming in over and behind Rideout. And this first FA Cup semi-final is half an hour old. There's no score, but there's plenty of excitement. Dean Austin fouled by Andy Hinchcliffe. Dean Austin's actually playing with a broken toe and had to have injections before the match. That's Sheringham beaten by Unsworth. Nethercott. Jackson's header away. Now Limpar. Parkinson, a good run from midfield, number 18. Walker saw him coming.
Everton supporter suggested his feet were in the penalty area, but his hands just went outside to collect it. The officials not interested.
Klinsmann, he tried to flick that on for Barnby. Header by Horn. Darren Anderton switching now to the left. Looking here for Sheringham. Unsworth. Misjudgment by Dean Austin lets in Graham Stuart. Paul Rideout, the only other man up with him, is away to the right. Still Stuart. And there wasn't enough support for him, really. The others were a bit slow getting forward. Or maybe he was too quick for them. Here's Anderton. Switching from one side to another, but he does have that problem, as you can see, on the left knee. Jackson. Klinsmann. Sheringham. Turned away from Watson.
There aren't going to be that many opportunities for the duo to link up, and he turns Watson exceptionally well, then goes for the chip. I think the strike would have been a better one, but it's easy after seeing it go over the crossbar. Good turn, though, to set up the actual shooting chance.
He's got a good range of skills, Teddy Sheringham. Hinchcliffe. Popescu. Unsworth. Stuart thought he was impeded by Mabbott, but again, Mr. Hart is allowing the game to flow. This is Popescu. Sheringham. Now Klinsmann with his arm up on the far side. This is Anderton. Klinsmann's moved inside now.
Listen there.
Sheringham. Mabbott sneaked up on the far side as well. This is Austin. Way by Dave Watson. That's Anderton. David Howells has slotted into the back four because Mabbott's gone on a little foray upfield. It's coming back now. Here's Austin. Klinsmann. Watson. Limpar got a bit mixed up, and there goes Sheringham onto Barmby's pass, but lovely cover, smooth as you like from David Unsworth. And here's Stuart. Oh, what a chance surely for right at it comes across. Graham Stuart, a really good run, and Paul Rideout was the player in the centre, but not for the first time, Gary Mabbott saved Tottenham.
Great defensive play there by Mabbott. Mistake by Howells, just tried to play out, and got himself in trouble, and Gary Mabbott saving the day.
Jackson's header! Oh, it's in! Matt Jackson at the near post. Everton have taken the lead. Minutes into the semi-final. The corner taken inevitably by Hinchcliffe, and Matt Jackson seems to glance that beyond Ian Walker.
Well, it just clears Stuart Nethercott, doesn't it? Look, he's just got the wrong side of him. Jackson takes it, nobody at the near post, and it's in the net.
It's his second FA Cup goal. Jackson, he got the winner at Bristol City in an earlier round, but that one, depending on what else happens today, he'll remember for a lot longer.
It's exactly as we've said, though, on the set pieces. He puts him in at such pace, Andy Hinchcliffe. If you just get caught the wrong side and you're out of position and he gets the faintest of touches, that's what's going to end up more often than not.
Celebrations on three sides of the ground. But you're always vulnerable when you've just scored a goal. Darren Anderton's going across now to take a corner for Tottenham. And Gary Mabbott has come forward. And so has Calderwood on the line. Sheringham!
Well, it was close, wasn't it? Just gets above Watson, but on the post there, Andy Hinchcliffe would have cleared it if necessary.
Yes, the man on the line had it covered. So did the referee, it seemed. They're one goal down. Be said, on the evidence of that first 35 minutes that Joe Royle's team thoroughly deserved their lead. He's the hero. Barmby, Klinsmann goes in, clearance, Howells! Howells shot.
Well, it's not going to be easy, is it, for Spurs to break this Everton defence? Apart from the Norwich game where they got 5, 1-0's been enough. They defend well, they compete in, and as you say, they have deserved to certainly be in front after the opening 37 minutes, because they have always just been that extra half a yard ahead of the Spurs players.
The other factor, Trevor, is that Klinsmann hasn't had a look in so far.
Well, none of the forward players. I mean, they do rely a lot on the supply from the back and midfield, but of course they've been hustled so much, the quality of that service has been affected.
He was beaten there by Unsworth, was Klinsmann. Mabbott. Oh, Barmby threw himself into Jackson a bit there. The ball's come back off Watson. The referee had to look at that. Nicky Barmby just frustrated by the fact that he didn't win the first challenge. Then I thought left a leg a little late, and I think that's why the referee, who may have taken his eye off it, wants to talk to his linesman on the far side, Tony Leake. And I think a yellow card, if it comes out, will come to Nick Barmby. I just thought, Trevor, that when the ball had gone, he left the foot in.
Well, he did. It was because he didn't get the first division. He thought he'd just pace-wise got beyond that Jackson. Then Jackson won possession, and here you see after the follow-through, I mean, he's not made any contact, but it was dangerous, and certainly in the end it was a yellow card.
Well, the linesman couldn't have been closer, could he? He almost tackled the linesman as well. Anyway, it's a yellow card for Barmby. Forward by Jackson, on the chase is right out. Just in case anybody does join the semi-final a little late on a Sunday, let me tell you that the Everton goal was scored by Matt Jackson, the right back, from a corner on 35 minutes. If you've just come in, that's the situation. It's a free kick now to Tottenham, and it's going to be taken by Dean Austin. This is Popescu. We're going into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Everton still to concede a goal in the FA Cup this season. Forward by Austin. Ablett. Oh, it's a good piece of play by Joe Parkinson. But Calderwood stepping in across, right out. Barmby. Unsworth having a splendid first half for Everton. Limpar. Forward by Jackson. Free kick. Mabbott on Stuart. Oh, take it. No, too quickly. Referee wasn't happy with where it was taken from. And for this one, Everton play it shorter. This is Ablett. Parkinson to Horn. The target is right out. The header was by Mabbott. This is Anderton. Offside, Klinsmann. In making making that last clearance. I think Gary Mabbott's on the ground there, Trevor.
Yeah, he's holding the back of his leg, whether it's his ankle or what. Certainly the trainer coming on now, but what, with 3 or 4 minutes to go before half-time, Spurs and Jerry France have got to think of some way or other that they're going to get into this game, because, you know, it has passed them by, and he's probably thinking, well, he's got Ronnie Rosenthal on the bench. At what stage does he introduce it? But the problem at the moment, they haven't been able to get sufficient numbers forward, because as soon as Everton win possession, they knock it round and they turn their defence, and because everyone then has to work back, and so it means Klinsmann and Sheringham have been a little bit drained of the sort of supply that he used to, and they haven't had a lot of support, and it's been such a disruptive first half for them.
Well, they've come from behind in the FA Cup before this season, Tottenham, so there's a long way to go yet. It's the supporters from Merseyside who you can hear with good reason. Watson with the free kick. That was Nethercott, and on by Barnby. This is Sheringham with just Klinsmann ahead of him. 2 defenders cover it. Watson. Klinsmann. Jackson. Howells. Barnby. Sheringham. Oh, he would have hoped to have done better from there.
Well, they battled away on the corner of the penalty area. It's a good little pullback by Barnby. It's just too high for Sheringham. He can't get underneath it. It looks a sort of poor header, but it was too high for him, really. He tried to just get above it and knock it down. You can see it's hanging there tantalisingly, but it's too high to actually keep down and a bit behind.
Yes, he was stretching, wasn't he? But it was a nice little cross from Nick Barnby. Gary Ablett, offside Graham Stuart. Watson against Klinsmann. Jackson. That's good skill from Graham Stuart, it really is. This is Hinchcliffe, the former Chelsea player there for Everton, having a good afternoon up to now. Here he is again, and he's trying to get Hinchcliffe through against Anderton, who's now called into defensive duty. And it's a goal kick.
Graham Stuart and Anders Limpar have done exceptionally well.
Sorry to step across, but there's a yellow card here, and I know why it is. Hinchcliffe kicked the ball high into the crowd, Trevor, when the ball went over the line for a goal kick in frustration. And I saw Robbie Hart coming over and thought, well, in the current mandate about dissent, that is technically a yellow card offence.
A waste, isn't it, though, to get it for that? But certainly Limpar, I think, and Stuart have been very, very good. The two lads who can beat defenders, they've held it up, done a little bit on the ball, and sort of got on the end of these long balls through.
So stoppage time in the first half as Barnby picks it up for Tottenham, but not for long, which is right out. And now it's Stuart, and Anders Limpar has made an inspired run through the centre, and right out spun away to the far side. Stuart, in fact, didn't see either of them.
That was a dreadful waste. Anders Limpar made a great run there, an early ball from Graham Stuart, and he would have been clear.
He held his hands up, Stuart, to acknowledge that, in fact, when the play broke down. This is Austin for Tottenham. What a good tackle by Barry Horn, the Welsh captain. Oh, and Hinchcliffe's hurt. king of the corners, Andy Hinchcliffe.
But with the whistle imminent, you can't say Everton don't deserve to be, at the very least, the 1 goal up at half-time.
Well, right on cue, there is the whistle, and they do deserve to be one up. Of that, there is no question. Matthew Jackson, who curiously was Leeds born, so fitting place for him to score, has given Everton the lead in the first half of the semi-final with a near-post header, with the applause ringing out from the Merseyside fans, and Tottenham wandering off, looking a shade bewildered. Their game plan has been all mixed up by Everton, and at half-time, they're a goal behind.
But in the lower leagues, if you watch that in the other divisions, you'll find that match, that first half, I reckon would have resulted in 5 or 6 yellow cards, and it's that inconsistency from one match to the other that I think puzzles players, and certainly puzzles the people who watch the game.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Alan. Spurs have got it all to do here. Can they turn this one round? Everton lead by 1-0. Let's rejoin Trevor and John.
Thanks very much, Des. And having listened to that discussion, Trevor, it does occur to me that two things, really. Jerry Francis is renowned as something of a strategist, so he will have said a few things in the dressing room at half-time. But Everton are 18th on that caption in the Premiership, and in a sense, every game they've been playing has been an FA Cup semi-final.
Well, they've had a couple of little mishaps in recent league games, even the one against Blackburn where they gave them a 2-goal start and then pounded them for 80 minutes. They could have got something from that. So I think, you know, generally speaking, seeing in this first 45 minutes, they're too good to go down. But, you know, if they get to a cup final in the spirit of that, the buoyancy, I don't think they will go down playing like this.
Well, they're now playing from left to right, and here's Popescu for Tottenham to Klinsmann on towards Barnby. And you'd expect Tottenham to start strongly. Sheringham into Klinsmann, not quite, and away by Ablett the second time. Here's Stuart. Horn, Limpar. He's driven that fairly optimistically, but Dean Austin didn't make proper contact, and it's Stuart. Up alongside him comes Andy Hinchcliffe. Rideout's the only player in the middle for Everton. This is Ablett. Stuart. Goes again, return from Hinchcliffe to Stuart. Rideout on the near post, not far away.
Well, it was a good counter-attack again by Everton, and Spurs went to sleep. No one took the runner. Fortunately, as the cross came in, Ian Walker was just able to get a hand on it. But I do suspect that Spurs need to support the front two far more. Sheringham.
Barnby! Now, Mr. Hart there was a factor in that. Jurgen Klinsmann appeared to be fouled, but the referee, in my opinion, played a good advantage, because that was a case where he could let the game go on. Spurs had possession. Klinsmann feels he was knocked about a bit there by Unsworth. Oh, arm round the neck, in fact, wasn't it? No doubt about that. But it runs on, you see. The referee thinks, well, Tottenham have got a shooting chance here, which ultimately they have, because Barnby comes into the picture and picks it up from Sheringham.
But taking up the point what Jimmy said at half-time, there's nothing to stop him booking him once the ball's gone out of play.
No, there isn't. Here's Calderwood. Anderton. Sheringham. Offside against Rideout coming back. Mr. Hart was the referee the night that Jurgen Klinsmann collided, I use that word advisedly, with Mark Bosnich. And that's a shove by Teddy Sheringham on Dave Watson. Referee had a word with Sheringham. Everton took the free kick behind his back and he wants it retaken. So the conversation between Klinsmann and Mr. Hart will not be the first one they've had. Although I think the night at Villa, Jurgen Klinsmann was too concussed to have a conversation. This is Hinchcliffe. Here's Rideout. Horn. Now Barnley as Sheringham spins away to the right. Unsworth. Mabbott. Watson. Calderwood. This boy Unsworth's played for England under-21s. He looks to me like an international in the making. I endorse what Alan Hansen said at half-time. He's looked absolutely outstanding back there.
Yeah, he's got good left foot as well. His distribution in possession is good, although the way that they play, they tend to hook it forward sometimes a little bit haphazardly.
Well, that's Gary Mabbott, who's just seen that one to safety. He's a player far beyond his years, David Unsworth. Only 21. Ablett. The flag's up there. There was a latter offside. Everton fans mocking the Tottenham supporters because it's the first time they think they've heard the song today. Hinchcliffe. Well, this FA Cup, sponsored by Littlewoods Pools, has really, in my view, based on the games I've seen, risen to new heights this season. And you wouldn't want to predict anything in a game like this, because semi-finals have proved in the past that the unexpected will happen. And here comes Graham Stuart. As Limpar is trying to make ground down this side. It's a good enough cross, but picked out by Walker. Jackson. I suppose the sponsors would be suitably pleased if Everton got to the final, but that's just in passing. This is Rideout to Parkinson. And here comes Gary Ablett, who himself has got another Merseyside connection, having played in the final for Liverpool. Here's Klinsmann. Striding forward, Gica Popescu. Haven't seen much of him in that position, Trevor.
I think that's going to be the key if Spurs are going to get him back into it. One of the two central defenders, Howes or Popescu, has got to start to go beyond. I was thinking Howes has been pulled quite over to this left-hand side to help out Stuart Nethercott. It might be an idea to try and put Barnby through the middle, and so because he likes to get beyond the front two. But somebody has to be joining closer to Klinsmann and Sheringham to occupy the Everton defenders, who at the moment are coping quite comfortably.
Joe Parkinson picked his way through nicely there, but couldn't quite find Rideout. Now that's a rather lazy piece of play by Darren Anderton, who lost the ball. Harry Horn and Joe Parkinson, but a split up the decision by Parkinson on Popescu. Indirect free kick, but forward by Howes. Klinsmann. Anderton, Sheringham running on, Unsworth.
But no one following up to pick up the pieces. That's where I'm sure Jerry Francis is getting frustrated. The ball fell loose on the 18-yard box and there were 6 men back still on the halfway line.
Well, Unsworth was carrying that well, but Dean Austin intercepted the pass ultimately, and Everton could be one right at the back here. Jurgen Klinsmann sees the opportunity, and Unsworth is nowhere near him, but Watson is good enough to hold the fort, because the other central defender is still making his way back. and he's still not really made it. Klinsmann. Good ball, that. It was Hinchcliffe who swung it wide to Limpar. Running at Stuart, Nethercott. Two in the middle for Everton. Right out goes near post. Referee says goal kick.
That's what Everton do well. They've got three great left footers to find Limpar there. Unsworth in the middle, Gary Ablett left back, and of course Hinchcliffe on the left of midfield, and they switch play, and it goes to Limpar so quickly before they can get tight on him, and that's when he runs at the defence.
Here's Graham Stuart. And Barry Horn's making a run forward, ominously. It's Stuart! Oh, right out! No, there's a flag up on the far side. There's a flag up on the far side, and offside, I think. It doesn't stand. Watch this. Graham Stuart comes inside. Watch 15 right out, offside there. And when he comes into the play off the goalkeeper, it has to be an active offside, as FIFA would say, not passive. So the flag went up and the score remains 1-0. But what about now? It's right out, clean through against Walker. Good save by Walker. Stuart! It's 2-0 now. It's Graham Stuart. Well, they're saying get off the pitch, the Everton players, because certain fans came on to celebrate. Graham Stuart here follows up a right-out shot, which Walker beats out, but right-out, who had a goal wiped out, or an effort wiped out, seconds earlier, this time is the instigator of the second Everton goal. He shoots, Walker saves, and look at Graham Stuart. He's only got to tap the ball in the net.
Well, it was a giveaway, wasn't it, from Spurs' point of view? Losing possession like that, 2 against 1, right out through. Walker made a good save actually on the first one, but Stuart again picking up the pieces. They got away with it just a minute or two before with the offside, but not a second occasion. Now, of course, they did come back against Southampton, but this one is, I think, an even taller order, and I suspect though Ronnie Rosenthal has got to be introduced.
I tell you what, if Ferguson and Barlow hadn't been missing, Stuart might never have played here. To Everton. Yes, they did come from 2 down against Southampton, and they did bring on Ronnie Rosenthal, so it won't be long. Who would you take off? That's the question.
Well, I think you'd have to take one of the 2 central midfielders off, and certainly then I would say stick Barnby in that middle area, supporting the front 2, and bring Rosenthal out wide.
Look at that ball again. That's Unsworth to Limpar. Everton are playing some stuff now. Right out. Matty Jackson's gone right up into the middle, the right back here. It's still Limpar. This is Klinsmann. Barry Horn, free kick to Tottenham.
The other alternative is, of course, to take young Stuart Nethercott off, who's struggling a bit at left back, and switch one of those 2 more experienced central midfielders half and half there.
But wait, first there's a free kick with Calderwood and Mabbott both going forward. Howell's to take. Sheringham's in there. Popescu hesitated a moment. Right out saw him and volleyed the ball clear for Everton. Graham Stuart. I've rarely seen a disallowed effort followed so quickly by a goal that was. Parkinson. There goes Stuart again. He's loving this role today, the former Chelsea man. Missed out in the sense after the cup final last year, of course. He moved. Here's Hinchcliffe. Limpar. Curled it. A little bit away from right out.
Well, look, there's no one supporting the front two. Spurs are almost playing into Everton's hand. They're so deep. Look, they're getting bypassed all the time, Spurs. They've got to change it soon.
Just wonder what's going through the mind of, well, obviously Jerry Francis, but also Joe Royle, his Klinsmann, because don't forget this time last year, or not this time, but on the same day, he was in the lead with Oldham before Marquis changed everything. This is Barmby trying to change things for Tottenham. And Anderson comes up outside him, Jurgen Klinsmann. Good block. And Parkinson's clearance, Mabbott. Joe Royle twice lost semi-finals with Oldham.
This was the mistake. Look, just got away with the disallowed goal and goes straight to Ryan out. Still bad defending. You shouldn't get called out like that, but it was the goalkeeper's mistake. Tried to retrieve it, and 2-0 now, an uphill task.
Same thing. Bad kick by Southall. Klinsmann in. Unsworth there. What's Southall doing here? Well, he knew. Right out. Hinchcliffe. An hour gone in the semi-final at Elland Road. Everton 2, Tottenham 0. Forward by Popescu, a little lovely touch by Klinsmann. Sheringham, Nicky Barmby's in the centre waiting, and Everton, Unsworth in fact, get the ball away, as far as Hinchcliffe anyway. Anderton, floated for Klinsmann. Oh, and Southall. Unsworth away.
Barmby came late, but that's when you need the more numbers in the penalty area. It was a good cross, a loose ball bobbling in front of the goal, and it was again an Everton player got to it first.
Klinsmann again, he's causing problems. Sheringham's in there. Oh, there's the penalty, is there? Yes. Sheringham went over, and the referee's given a penalty. Everton protest. Sheringham fell, was pushed or bundled, whatever you feel about it. It's in by Barmby, it's on by Klinsmann. Now watch Teddy Sheringham, he goes up. Oh well, it looked a softish one to me, David Watson, but a penalty it is. The referee is waving away more protests, and Jurgen Klinsmann, Watson's gone across to have another word with the referee.
Well, it's an amazing decision. Dave Watson's gone for the ball, and certainly Teddy Sheringham sort of almost made a back for Dave Watson, and never a penalty as far as I'm concerned, and what a turning point this could be.
It's a soft one, that, but the fact of the matter is the referee has given it, and it's Klinsmann against Southall. Will it be the first goal that Everton have conceded in the FA Cup this season? It is, and it's put Tottenham back in the game. Jurgen Klinsmann gets the ball out the back of the net and sprints back to the halfway line. Good effort by Southall to stop it. He went the right way, I think you'll find here. But the power of Klinsmann's shot, yes, right in the corner, beautifully struck.
That was a good penalty. Remember, he missed one against Liverpool recently, so it might have been at the back of his mind in the league, but he didn't worry, did he? Took the responsibility, but I mean, it's a lifeline given to Spurs. There's no way for me that was a penalty.
Well, it'll be a hotly debated decision, that, without any doubt. Collingwood is down. It's changed the course of this semi-final for the time being. 63 minutes gone, 2-1. Everton take a quick throw in. Graham Stuart. Now what happens? David Watson, seeking some sort of retribution, goes forward for the throw. Nabbit heads up. Now the Everton fans appeal. Nothing given. Ablett. Parkinson. Limpar. Beats one but can't beat two. And Klinsmann, who I must say had a good 10 minutes prior to that, suddenly he's very much in the game. Appeals for offside. No flag. Nethercott.
Probably delayed any substitution for 10 minutes. Anyway, the penalty, I'm sure Ronnie Rosenthal would have had the entrance on the half an hour to go, but now Terry Francis decides, well, let's leave it for a few more minutes now. We've got one back.
Yes, you saw the two managers in quick succession there, and they can't plan anything like that happening. It's what makes football, I suppose, the unpredictable game it is, when you get a penalty which came very much out of nothing. And Spurs had a lifeline, as you said. Watson to take the free kick for Everton meantime. Limpar. Sheringham. Darren Anderson struggling to get up with Jurgen Klinsmann here. Unsworth. Klinsmann again, scoops it in, out to Howells, now Graham Stuart, and Everton, oh, that's a good piece of play, my goodness me it is. Joe Parkinson showing a lot of skill on the ball. This is Anders Limpar. Stuart, Limpar again, and here's Parkinson. Watson. Parkinson, he has passed the ball around well today, Joe Parkinson. This is Stuart.
That was good control football by Everton. They've just sort of lost their way for the last few minutes after the shock of that penalty, but that sort of bit of possession would have done them a lot of good.
Mistake by Unsworth, not taken advantage of by Klinsmann. So the team that were not in the FA Cup until December, who looked out of it when they were 2-0 down at Southampton, who were 2-0 down here, are suddenly still in with a shout. Stuart. Looked like handball. Nabbit referee said play on, and he said play on again. Anders Limpar. And Calderwood should see Stuart off here. Given away by Dean Austin to Rideout. Run back well by Anderson. Popescu starts a run from midfield. Rideout's down injured. Spurs with Sheringham. Popescu again, Klinsmann, and Popescu, and Barmby coming up on the outside, Klinsmann. Sheringham! Well, while all that's been happening, Paul Rideout is lying prostrate in the other half of the field.
Well, it looked like a good tackle by Darren Anderton, but he's in a lot of pain here, isn't he? Whether he's wrapped his ankle or just hurt his knee again remains to be seen. But at the moment, it doesn't look as if he's going to carry on, unfortunately.
Well, they're calling for a stretcher, and we may be seeing the end of Rideout because of this. Anderton stretches to take the ball, in all fairness. That wasn't a foul tackle, but Rideout went down with a painful expression on his face, and having been out for so long with that knee, one hopes it's not the same injury, but Les Helm is on the ground there with him, and he's in bags of pain, and Joe Royle may have to think about Daniel Amokachi, Trevor.
Well, that would be the definite substitution. It's always a problem now. They don't want to move him too quickly. But it looked as if his leg just got wrapped underneath him, and as he went down, it seemed as if it twisted, and it was an awkward fall, wasn't it?
Well, Joe's a worried man at the moment. They were 2 up and sailing a few minutes ago. The waters have got very choppy for Everton. There's a bit of seasickness among their supporters at the moment, because not only are they going to have a player carried off, but when it restarts, it'll be a corner to Spurs. He wants a signal, Joe, from the physio. Do we give it 5 minutes? Trevor Brooking shaking his head, but let's just stay with the play, because referee Hart will resume the game with a corner to Tottenham. Oh, and Klinsmann's climbing. Barmby! Oh, it struck an Everton player. I think it was that man Unsworth again. Rideout receiving attention on the far side of the field. Everton down to 10. 20 minutes to go. 2-1. Offside, Graham Stuart. He's got to play a lone role up there at the moment, but I think Amokachi's got to come on. Yes, they've given him a signal from the far side, Joe Royle. Rideout's not coming back, and the Nigerian, who only last week made his first starting appearance since Joe Royle's first match, is now in the action in an FA Cup semi-final. Daniel Amokachi, the £3 million man. So we have a World Cup player from overseas in each attack now. Well, Ferguson suspended, Barlow injured, Rideout off. No luck for Everton with strikers, is there? To remind our viewers, I'm sure most of you know that extra time is scheduled in the FA Cup semi-finals, and as Paul Rideout hobbles sadly away, Tottenham will be hoping to force in the remaining 18 minutes an extra period. Amokachi up against Mabbutt. Go to Spurs.
Well, it's good to see Paul Rideout walking along there, so injury not quite as bad as might have been feared. And he might still play a part in their Premiership relegation battle, but a chance for Daniel Amokachi to clinch matters and make himself an instant hero. It hasn't been easy for him, has it, since the World Cup?
No. He needs to do for Everton what Yeboah is doing for Leeds, whose normal games are played here. Here's indeed where Yeboah scored a hat-trick on this ground earlier this week. Popescu. Nethercott. Howard. Howells. Up on the far side, Dean Austin. Hinchcliffe has to make, a desperate challenge. Didn't get it. Austin's cross, offside. Flag up, Klinsmann. Rideout is leaving the field on this side to a tremendous ovation from the Everton supporters gathered around the dugout area. Amokachi. Now, how easily can he fit into the game? That's the question. It's Mabbutt who's taking no chances with him. Asking a bit much of the Nigerian there. Joe Parkinson, a wonderful tackle. And he has played so well, the number 18. That's Stuart. Amokachi. Amokachi for Everton. Stuart. Horn. Limpard to his right, wanted it pushed across, but Barry Horn from his angle saw a chance of perhaps cutting one over the keeper.
Well, Amokachi, it looked as if he was doing everything right, and then he beat himself, didn't he? And then goes back to Horn, and Limpard to the right was in acres of space, but Spurs, I don't think are doing enough going forward at the moment. I'm a bit surprised. We've got probably, with stoppages, still 20 minutes left, that Ronnie Rosenthal hasn't made the entry we thought he would.
The other got a bit fortunate there against Limpard. Howells. Austin. Join us late on a Sunday afternoon, particularly with a kick-off time like this, so I'll just refresh your memory on the goals. Everton went 2-0 up. Matt Jackson in the first half, Graham Stuart in the second, and a debatable penalty converted by Jurgen Klinsmann has put Tottenham back into some sort of contention. For the moment, it's a free kick to Everton. Amokachi, what a flick. Stuart.
Good flick, but not sure if it was a shot or a cross. Ended up with neither.
News on Paul Rideout. He twisted his knee and there was no possibility of him continuing. Now then, Sheringham to Barnby. Danger. Anderton. You won't get a penalty for that. I don't think you get two. But there was a shout from the hopeful Tottenham fans. Here comes Amokachi. Up against Mabbutt. That won't be a penalty either. And incident follows incident.
Everyone's appealing for a penalty all the time now after the one that was given.
That's really what I meant. The crowd are a little bit inclined to do that. Everton have got a corner on the far side. And we're back to Andy Hinchcliffe again. Jackson this time is in a deeper position. The man on the near post is Ablett. And Watson's also there. That's Stuart.
It was bad marking again, wasn't it? He's not the tallest of players. He shouldn't leave him unmarked, though. Cleared everyone. That was one of the deep ones, wasn't it? Just went over Darren Anderton, who was marking him, and headed it down. Walker did well to hold it.
Amokachi, a late flag, a very late flag. Amokachi was coming back. Oh, yellow card. Presumably that's for kicking the ball away, is it? Graham Stuart for the booking. But Trevor.
Well, you're quite right. He wasn't the one that was offside.
Klinsmann. Yes, there's a point about that offside. Amokachi was walking back. It was a passive offside on his part, and the flag went up as if the linesman wasn't sure. Now Tottenham, for a handball, get a free kick in dangerous territory. Klinsmann making a little circular run in the centre. Mavic goes up to join him. Popescu is in there with Calderwood. And it's Klinsmann with the volley. And Barmby goes in. Oh, Klinsmann scored a goal like that against Everton at the beginning of the season at White Hart Lane. They must have thought it was deja vu, but they blocked him this time. Horn to Stuart. Good cushioned header. Stuart, oh, it's not good. Amokachi was down the line. There was an escape up there, you know. Klinsmann, that's his speciality. Well forward here. Anderton. Forward towards Sheringham and Klinsmann. David Watson. Joe Parkinson.
Again, though, Everton picking up the pieces. It was headed away, and Joe Parkinson and Barry Horn have picked up so many of those.
Referee is in conversation with another protesting player, but he runs away from it this time, Mr. Hart, and we have 10 minutes left, unless, of course, Tottenham equalise, and we're going to be into another half hour. Sheringham, Watson, Howells, Sheringham tries to find Barmby. Now 2 against 2. Daniel Amokachi heads it through to Graham Stuart, and Stuart takes it early.
Good header by Amokachi. Graham Stuart electing to hit it early on the half volley. Now the fly in and look great, or end up like that.
Backing in, wasn't it? Sheringham on Watson. Well, the linesman flagged it was. The referee didn't seem inclined to give it. Jackson with a clearance that's only really carried the ball across to Darren Anderton. Spurs are piling players in there now, they've got to. This is Barmby with the header on. It's Nedicott, saved by Southall's legs from the left back, and on the break Anders Limpar. They've got 4 against 4. Graham Stewart's had to check as he would have run off the pitch. Inside him is Barry Horn here, number 10. Stewart's available now. That's his cross. Amokachi! Nigerian, who almost disappeared for half the season, has brought Tottenham to their knees. 8 minutes to go. Is this the killer goal? Barry Horn to Graham Stuart, delivered it perfectly, and the Nigerian beats Walker at the far post to restore Everton's 2-goal advantage.
Don't forget Neville Southall's save at the other end, because it could have been 2 apiece. Good save from Stuart Nethercott. He was caught forward. They broke down that flank, right flank. A great run by Limpar and a good move. And in the end, Amokachi does win over the Everton fans.
How right you are. It was the rebound off Southall that came straight to Anders Limpar. The left back was out of position because he'd had the shot. And from then on, Everton had a man over, and how well they used him. How well they used him. Amokachi again. Neville Southall takes immense credit. This could have been 2-2, make no mistake. Instead it was 3-1. Jerry Francis is standing there with Ronnie Rosenthal. Flags up, flags up. There was a player offside. Sheringham tangles rather nastily with Unsworth. Referee steps in. Linesman is still flagging. I think he wants the substitution to be notified. Nethercott's going to come off, and Ronnie Rosenthal is going to come on. There will be 6 minutes for Spurs to save it. Now what's happening on the middle of the pitch there, Trevor, is that Unsworth and Sheringham had a little to do. It was a bit nasty for a minute, and the referee is sorting it out now. While we're watching the goal again, the referee has had strong words with both players. This is Amokachi's header, but Sheringham and Unsworth there, that just came to boiling point. To Everton, their fans are singing.
I must say, I thought the substitution of Ronnie Rosenthal might have come earlier in this half. He's now gone on the left side of midfield, and David Howes has gone to left back with Barnby going more through the middle.
That didn't go out from Dave Watson. This is Darren Anderton. Oh, look at that tackle. Gary Ablett. Amokachi didn't hold it. Spurs pile 4 in again. Southall, yes. Amokachi finds Hinchcliffe. Amokachi again. Through the legs of Calderwood. Graham Stuart's up there. This is Limpar! And it's Stuart! Well, he'll hold his head there because quite where Ronnie Rosenthal came from, I don't think anybody's quite sure. Watch this. Amokachi does all the hard work. Little flick back. Limpar. Stuart. Oh, there's Ronnie Rosenthal. Corner. Now, how many will go forward now? 3-1 up. Jackson has. Ablett has. Rosenthal's back there defending. Limpar. Now Rosenthal. 2 to meet him. Barry Horn. Great tied it up at the midfield. Chips it forward for Amokachi. Too long. Golly, this ground really is humming now. Forward. Oh, look at the space for Popescu. Everton went to sleep for a moment.
Well, frustration there for Spurs, but I mean, Everton and Joe Royle must be ecstatic at their performance. They've played superbly. That smile says it all. He knows he's going to Wembley. Jerry Francis just knows his side haven't been allowed to play their normal game today, and I think their expression says it all.
I shall be asking you in a moment, Trevor, for your Littlewoods man of the match, because I know there are 1 or 2 very strong candidates on the Everton side, but looking at Joe there, Joe Royle, my mind goes back a year to that agonising moment at Wembley when Oldham were virtually in the final. And you all know what happened then. Mark Hughes interrupted things, and Joe Royle was denied, as he was earlier in his career at Oldham in 1990. Is it 3rd time lucky for Joe Royle in the FA Cup? Look at this. Graham Stewart's got Amokachi inside him and square. Stuart, Amokachi, can he beat Walker? No. Chance though.
Well, they've done well under Amokachi's first touch, just let him down. It took him away from the goal, and he couldn't put it into the empty net then.
Graham Stewart having a day of days up there. It'll be a day of days for Evertonians if it stays like this. Flicked by Anderton, away by Unsworth. Limpar touching it back again to Andy Hinchcliffe. Amokachi in the centre. Hinchcliffe's cross comes off a defender. Walker holds it. Well, you can see from your screens how close Everton are to the FA Cup final. Graham Stuart. Everton throw. And how close Joe Royle is after those two heartbreaks. Sheringham. Popescu. Header back by Parkinson. Then Calderwood. Liverpool won a trophy last Sunday. Everton are mighty close to going to Wembley themselves for a final. Quite a week for Merseyside. That happens. Here's Barnsley. And it's back to him from Klinsmann. In go the tackles, and the interceptions, and the passes, and the release ball to Anders Limpar. Now he's got somebody sprinting up to his left. I think it's Gary Ablett there. And Amokachi is square and unmarked. Amokachi, surely! It's another one! It's another one! And that's it now. It's all over. Well, Amokachi 2, Everton 4. The Tottenham dream over. Trevor Brooking.
Well, it's a wonderful goal, wasn't it? They just didn't sit back. Gary Ablett, a superb ball across the face. Daniel Amokachi didn't hesitate, kept it well enough below the crossbar. But, you know, to see Everton still surging forward at 3-1 just shows that the confidence that they've played with all the game. And I mean, I think now the scoreline probably reflects how the 90 minutes have gone.
And while when the play breaks down, I'll ask you for your man of the match. Barnsley to Sheringham. Well, I can ask you.
Well, I think you could almost give it to the whole Everton team. Unsworth been superb at the back, and certainly Parkinson has been very good in midfield. Limpar, though, has been excellent, but the man that I've picked, I must say, going forward is not this man, Daniel Amokachi, who's come on to get 2 goals, but the man, I think, who might well have not played. Gerrard might not have picked him if he'd had Duncan Ferguson, and that is Graham Stuart. I think he's been superb. Linking play from out on the flanks. He and Limpar have caused Spurs defence all sort of problems, and of course he's got the goal and set up the third as well.
We're in the second minute of stoppage time in the FA Cup semi-final. And the Littlewoods man of the match is Graham Stuart of Everton. And there are chants you're not often hear in a semi-final now from the cheeky Everton fans. Easy, easy. His next job presumably is to blow the final whistle, but we wait here to see what happens as Amokachi goes in again past Mamet. It's going to be a hat-trick, is it? No. Well, that would have been the first hat-trick in an FA Cup semi-final since 1958. Hasn't been done since Alex Dawson did it for Manchester United against a Fulham team that included Jimmy Hill. But Amokachi was mighty close then.
Well, it should have been a hat-trick, shouldn't it? But I mean, what a story that would have been to come on as late as he did and then score a hat-trick. Not to be, but he's played his part, and certainly the Everton supporters absolutely alive. There's going to be some celebration, and surely after this performance they're not going to get involved in that relegation scrap, and they're going to pick up sufficient points.
This is Graham Stuart. mystery land now where nobody knows how long the referee's going to add on. The 94th minute.
Joe Royle sitting there will have a selection problem after this one. He pulled right out if he gets fit. Duncan Ferguson, John April, who's suspended. Not a bad problem for him to have.
On by Sheringham. Didn't think he was supposed to be playing extra time, but there you go. Well, he must have looked at his watch about 14 times so far, Robbie Hart. Oh dear me, I wish he'd blown earlier, because we've now got supporters coming on the pitch, which is precisely the problem. Oh look, dear, oh dear, they're in the goal mouth and everything. This is just the very thing you don't need, and I have to say that when a team are 4-1 up and you've been playing 94 minutes, I really can't see why the referee can't finish it. There can't be that much stoppage time, surely. Everton are through to the FA Cup final. It's third time lucky Joe Royle, and it was a thumping victory in the end. Jerry Francis's team on the day, finishing a very clear second. Graham Stuart, the Littlewoods man of the match, is mobbed as he leaves the field. Fans are on the pitch now, but it's celebratory rather than threatening. And the match will be remembered for the substitute Daniel Amokachi coming on after the unfortunate injury to Paul Rideout and scoring twice. The only reply from Tottenham amidst all that was a rather dodgy penalty decision, that's our view rather, which was converted by Jurgen Klinsmann. And one hopes this will not cause trouble, that one or two Tottenham supporters have come on the pitch as well. And the league ground philosophy with no fences means that the security people do have to keep a very close eye on what happens now. Don't want to cast any doubt on what's been a celebratory occasion. The men of the moment are Joe Royle and David Watson, and they're with Ray Stubbs.
Okay, stand by. Dave, many congratulations, a heroic performance.
Yeah, the lads were different class. Right from the first whistle, we set our stall out and we got amongst them, and we gave them an awful lot of problems, and we could have, been a couple of goals up in the first half.
Joe, many congratulations. When the penalty went in, did you start thinking, oh no?
Well, I thought, here we go again. I couldn't see what it was for. Perhaps television will tell me, but you can't tell from that distance. But they responded, came again. To be honest with you, the most problems we had the whole game was when they launched balls at us. I thought we played all the football.
For Everton Football Club, it's a magnificent result. What have you done since you arrived here?
Nothing really. They're good lads, they're good players, they're just expressing themselves. They've settled down, they've got a great spirit. They found a little bit more desire, and you can see the results. They've been terrific. This fella too, man of the match today. Mightn't always have been fair to him, with games getting him in the side, but he was brilliant today.
Well, Graham Stuart, your goals just about kept Everton in the Premier League, and now you scored a goal today and made a great performance.
Yeah, I thought the team thoroughly deserved to win. We battled so hard. We desperately wanted to get to the cup final, and we got nothing more than we deserved today.
Joe, now you go to Wembley, and this Everton side, it'll revitalise the whole club, won't it?
Well, I hope so. We've got a very important game next Friday against Newcastle. We need the 3 points, even more than that, so let's hope we can go on from there.
Many congratulations, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray. Well done.
Well, we've seen the slightly ugly face of the game right at the end here, but happily it's been nipped in the bud, and the pitch is now absolutely clear, as you see behind us. Well, I mean, Everton were outstanding. I mean, they deserved everything they got.
For 90 minutes, sensational. You know, every one of them played brilliantly. Terrific.
Yeah.
And how this is the second goal. It's a mistake. We were praising Walker at half-time, but he makes a mistake here. Rideout does really well. He wins the challenge, and then he's right in goal. There's only one thing in his mind. to hit the target, which he does. Walker nearly redeems himself because he makes a great save, but Stuart, who was man of the match, followed up to stick it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's extraordinary when you think how that arose. It's interesting just to see the angle and the problem the goalkeeper has. We had a little disagreement over whether that was a good save or not. I think you thought he should have caught it, Alan, but I thought that he did well to save it.
Can't remember saying that, Jimmy.
Did you not?
We were talking before the game that we were expecting the class to come from Tottenham and all the resilience and hard work from Everton, but it was Everton who showed the class as well today.
Tottenham showed nothing during the game.
Not really.
Everton were terrific. They played a lot of good football. They've got some good players. I mean, I think there was a balance between launching it forward and playing nice football.
Yeah. Now, Neville Southall made a vital save when it was 2-1.
It was 2-1, yeah. And corner, the cross comes in, Barnby flicks on, it's never caught, and Neville does well here because the angles are great, reactions are good, fabulous save at a vital time.
Yeah. And the game just changed in that moment. The ball goes up the other end of the field, and this is the simplest goal maybe that Amokachi will ever be called upon to score. A great day for him, which is nice because he's taken the stick from the fans. Everton fans have taken the stick from fans of the other major clubs in the country, and it's lovely to see the joy that they're getting out of the game today.
I actually thought his second goal was easier than that, Jimmy. This one, yeah, definitely.
Well,
great ball in from Ablett, comes in. You wouldn't even have missed that.
The goalkeeper had him angled.
He failed a bit because he could have had a hat-trick.
I tell you what, it's lovely to see when a player's had a rough time and people have laughed at him and said he wasn't worth $3 million. It's lovely to see him do something at last to justify himself and regain his own confidence.
I think it's great for Joe Royle.
Yeah.
What happened last year? You know, he was virtually in the cup final, and then Hughes scores a wonder goal at Wembley, and he's out. And he's come back. He's done a great job at Everton. Priority to keep him in the Premier League. But Wembley Cup final for them, great.
One message for Joe to finish, sorry.
We
don't think it was a penalty, Des. I'm terribly sorry. Joe was worried whether it was going to be a penalty.
It's time to go away, Joe. It's time to go away because there's a lot more sport to come for.